Welcome back, everyone, to Week 8 of the Wild West. Come on, guys, get cheering.
Yeah. It's your boy, Tristan.
Travis.
And it's your host, Carlos. We're going to dive into the World Series edition of Chuck's Dugout. Also, our Week 8 picks. And then we also have our DDK Fantasy Football lineup, Driz and Los Players of the Week. And then our favorite show, Who's Hot and
Who's Not.
You guys still fail. 3 weeks in a row.
Bro, you suck.
All right, for the World Series, we have the Houston Astros against the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, this is Houston's 5th appearance, and this is also Philadelphia's 9th appearance. Overall, you guys, this was a fun series. Houston took out the New York Yankees in a sweep, and Philadelphia closed out their game against the San Diego Padres. It was a close game. Good job, Padres, but Philadelphia was just better. And so pretty much now it dives into the World Series. Tristan, who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Astros on this one. I think they're a great team. And I'm from Texas, man, so I got to give love to them. They may be a rival in my division, but got to give it to them.
I'm going to go Phillies. I feel like it's going to be a tough series for both teams, but I feel like Phillies will win it out in 6 or 7 games.
This is going to be a very interesting series. Chuck is actually a Houston Astros fan, so congratulations to all the Houston Astros fans. Philadelphia is an interesting team. They started in the wild card, and they have just been impressive throughout the playoffs. Can they finally push and make it this count? It's going to be tough because Houston has the best record, and their bullpen is great. And diving into the series, Philadelphia is going to have to make it count. So, yes, I'll take Philadelphia as well. So, if they win, that'll be their 3rd World Series. If Houston wins, it'll be their 2nd World Series. All right, let's go ahead and move on over and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors. College game day of the week. We decided to pick, what was the team, Travis?
Georgia and Florida.
All right, who are you taking and why?
I'm going to take Georgia. They haven't really had a bad game yet this year. They've been on fire. I feel like they're going to continue that streak going past Florida.
I think this is kind of obvious. It's Georgia. I don't see how Georgia can lose to Florida at the time being. They're on fire. They just look great all over the board.
They haven't skipped a beat. Georgia's just doing it. I mean, that's why they're the national champions. But don't forget, we have Tennessee around the horizon. Is Alabama going to do something? We don't know. But right now, Tennessee's the team that's lurking, and I'm thinking that's going to be the SEC championship, Tennessee against Georgia. So, but right now, Georgia will go ahead and take care of Florida. Florida has been irrelevant, and they haven't been the same since Tebow was there. It's been a long time. But, yeah, we'll go ahead. I'm going to take Georgia, so it's a sweep here. All right, let's go ahead and dive into Week 8. All right, you guys, we're approaching deadlines for trades. There's been a lot of trades happening that's been surprising. One of them was when I found out that Christian McCaffrey went to the 49ers. That was crazy. And then we find out later that James Robinson's going over there and playing with the Jets, so he leaves the Jags. And then what was another one that we just found out?
Robert Quinn just got traded today for a 4th rounder to the Eagles.
And, I mean, the Eagles is already a good defense. That just adds that much more pressure here. Well, let's go ahead and dive in and kind of analyze these games here. So let's start off with the Thursday night game. We have the Baltimore Ravens going against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tristan, we see that Tampa Bay is struggling.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, in the locker room, their play, their marital, it's bad all the way across. And Baltimore doesn't fall behind either. I mean, Baltimore has had their strings of woes. I mean, Dobbins is out again. Lamar has been not the same. He's been struggling as well. And so with this situation that's going on right now, who are you going to take in this game and why?
I'm taking Baltimore. I think over the entire course of this year so far, you can see Baltimore's been playing phenomenal. Now Lamar Jackson's fallen off a little bit, but that's fine. He's still a MVP caliber quarterback, and Gus Edwards is going to step up, take that leading role in the backfield, I think, and he's a great running back. So I think he'll do good in that position. And just with how Tampa Bay has been playing, it's been terrible. And I think they'll pick it up this game, but Baltimore's too good of a team, in my opinion, for the Bucks to beat. So I'm going with Baltimore this week.
I am also going to go with Baltimore. Tampa Bay's O-line has just not been producing at all. Ryan Jensen got injured. They've had too many hits to that O-line. I feel like Baltimore is going to send the blitz at Brady all night, making him feel uncomfortable. I'm going to take Baltimore in this one.
I had to think about this for a while, and just analyzing both teams, I feel that I said Russell, I can't believe that. Lamar Jackson, could it be that he's focusing too much on his contract that's running in his mind? And then on the other side, do you see Tom Brady? Is he still dwelling about the divorce? Is he going through that slump? Wide receiver core, I mean, last week against the Panthers, that was just terrible. Mike Evans had a terrible day. Gage is hurt, if I'm not mistaken. He's still out. They also have a couple key players that are out on the line. Fournette has not been much of a factor right now, and they're just in disarray. He's just in disarray. And so Baltimore needs to take advantage of that, kind of regroup, because as I mentioned last show, Cincinnati has found their niche, and we'll talk about them in a second. So for now, for this game, we're going to go ahead and take Baltimore. Next up, we have the London game. We have my team, the Denver Broncos, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver is just, I don't know. I'm going to let you start first, Travis, before I get into my feelings. Go ahead and start.
Fair enough. I'm taking Jags this week. Broncos country is definitely not riding this year. The Jags have a lot of experience in London. They lost James Robinson, but they still have Travis Etienne at running back. I feel like he'll have a whole lot more of an advantage to break out even more this year now after not having a rookie season. So I'm going Jags.
I'm going Jags. I don't know how you can choose Denver, how they've been playing, and how that Broncos country hasn't been riding. You see that it came out where I guess Russell Wilson on the way back from the London game, he was or on the way back from one of the games, he was, instead of like resting while everybody was sleeping, he was in the middle of the aisle warming up, making sure, doing rehab in the middle of the airplane, So, I mean, at that point, it's just like, just rest. You don't need to keep going. Not with. I think it's just hilarious.
I wonder if he was checking his phone for social media. What is my wife doing? I am very nervous now. What is she doing now? Is she making another crazy video? Russ, you're not cooking. You're not flying high. It's just looking bad right now. Everything's looking bad. And again, it's just another story. You were supposed to make this match made in heaven. You were supposed to bring us to glory. We were going to finally, get the best of the Chiefs. I mean, everything's going great, right? But no. You get hurt, and then you lost track. You're not focused, and then Melvin Gordon got hands like he's got butterfingers. You know what I'm saying? He's fumbling the ball a lot. It's just ridiculous. And so now we're going against a Jags team that right now they are not playing bad at all. It's not bad. And I got to admit, though, it's amazing that how Coach Peterson is turning that team around. And right now they're taking advantage of a team that's not concrete. And they're going to fly all the way to London. And I don't think they've been to London in a while, because the Jags have been to more games in London than Denver. So it'll probably be a homecoming for Jacksonville. So I'll take Jacksonville.
I think we all agree that your team ain't it this year.
Tristan, that's enough.
You like that?
Putting salt in the wound. I can't handle the pain no more, man. Just stop. All right. Next up, we have an NFC South showdown. We have the Carolina Panthers against the Atlanta Falcons. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Atlanta. They did have that big loss against Cincy, but Cincinnati was on fire last week. Carolina had the big win against Tampa. But with Atlanta winning, if they win this week and Tampa Bay loses, they take over the division. So I'm going to go Atlanta here.
Oh, yeah, I'm going Atlanta, too, because Carolina had a pretty good win against Tampa Bay. But, let's not forget they don't have Robbie Anderson anymore. They don't have Christian McCaffrey anymore. Who knows what's going on with the quarterback situation. It's just they're still, in my opinion, not a good football team. And Atlanta, they've been looking pretty good. Marcus Mariota's has been getting that ball rolling. He's been a decent quarterback for him. So I got Atlanta this week.
this is another situation where I have to. Who do I choose? I mean, Carolina. Again, we've talked bad about him. I mean, DJ Moore finally stepped up. That's a shocker. Right now, according to records, to reports, if I'm not mistaken, I think Baker Mayfield's coming back this game, isn't he?
Possibly. Steve Wilkes hasn't said who's going to be the starting quarterback this week, but I think he's leaning towards P.J. Walker still.
Keep P.J. Walker. But I'm going with Atlanta as well. I just think Atlanta's got a little bit more weapons that can kind of give Carolina a hard time. But don't forget, Carolina's got a good defense. They're not bad. But offensively, it's just putting more pressure on them. So I'll take Atlanta. Next up, we have a real great game here. We have the surprisingly Chicago Bears, the Bears, going against America's team, them boys, the Dallas Cowboys. Tristan, who you taking?
I will give the Bears credit for last week. I wasn't expecting that from them, against New England, but Dallas is playing really well right now. That it's simply that defense is too good for the Bears to do anything against. I feel like this week the Bears are Justin Fields isn't gonna be able to pass at all. They're gonna have to run the ball because with those DBs, with that pressure, it's gonna be tough, man. And I'm choosing Dallas this week, definitely.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Dallas. Micah Parsons, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Justin Fields is going to have to throw that ball off quick if he's not going to get sacked by him this week. Darnell Mooney still has not been an impact for the Bears this year at all. But, yeah, I'm going Dallas.
I'm going to take Dallas as well. Defensively, they've changed up their schemes, and it's actually working. As long as they don't bite like what they did against the Eagles game. The Eagles did a great job getting Dallas off their feet and being able to disguise their plays. So that's something that Chicago can maybe look at film and review. Because I mean, Detroit really had nothing going on. They were just playing. Because if I wasn't mistaken, Swift was already out, if I'm not mistaken, and also St. Brown was injured, and then Goff, I don't know what he was doing, but it was just pointless. So yep, I'll take Dallas as well. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins going against the Detroit Lions. Tristan, who you taking and why?
Fins up, baby. You gotta take the Dolphins. I like Detroit's offense as well, but the problem is their defense can't stop any offense. Their defense is horrible when it comes to the pass and run. And the Dolphins with Tua back now, they looked good against Pittsburgh. I expect them to keep looking good against Detroit this week.
I'm also going to go with Miami. Detroit. Yeah, St. Brown should be back this week. He avoided a concussion that they thought he had last week, so he'll be back. Yeah, in Detroit, they can't get any wins. They just got 1-2 on the year, but otherwise, yeah, I'm going with Miami.
That Sunday night game, Miami didn't destroy Pittsburgh. That goes to show that Pittsburgh's defense is bad. Miami did display that when Tua was there, they're a total different team, and they rally it with him. And of course, Tyreek and Waddle had great games. Miami, this is a key win for them. So we're gonna do is we're gonna pick statement games, and so hopefully, but this is not my statement game. But I'm just saying this is a game for them, especially with New England kind of on the slide, and now that. Here in a little bit, we'll discuss about the Jets in New England. But on the other hand, Buffalo is still on the horizon. They've got that key win against Buffalo. And if they want to get into the wild card, these are the wins that they need to rack up. So I'm going to take Miami on this game. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals against the Minnesota Vikings. Tristan, who you taking?
I'm taking the Vikings. Now, I will say the Cardinals, with D-Hop back, they looked good. And I'm so happy D-Hop is back. He played really great his first game back. And, they look good with him back. Their offense looked like they weren't doing terrible. But I like the Vikings. I like their offense. I like the defense. They're going to take their division and I hope they'll make it to hopefully championship game. So, I got Vikings this week.
I also got the Vikings. Minnesota's been playing very strong this year. They have the division by a couple games. I mean, they're just running away with this one. Arizona, they've been up and down. They had the big win against the Saints last Thursday night. But yeah, I'm going with Minnesota.
This is an interesting game. Minnesota, again, offensively, they have better weapons than Arizona does. Kyle Murray last week showed when he told his coach to shut up in the most practical way. That to me goes to show that something's disrupting between coach and the quarterback. Here's the thing, Arizona, you paid that guy all that money, and yes, he's a great quarterback to watch. But that game against Kansas City, that goes to, and then also they lost to Seattle as well. You put the pressure on him, it's over for him. He's disrupted, he's delirious, and it's a wrap, and he's done. And now D-Hop's back. That's going to be his main target. James Conner, inconsistent, plagued with injuries. That's probably why Pittsburgh let him go. And I like Benjamin. He's a great running back. He did a great job last week. So that being said, when you look at Minnesota, on the other hand, if Kirk Cousins, it's not a primetime game, so that's a check. Also, if Dalvin Cook can just cook, and them getting established with Thielen and Jay Jettis, it's a wrap. And so I think Minnesota's going to keep strolling. And yes, I do agree, Tristan, with you that I don't see why not. I could see Minnesota in the NFC Championship. If they play their cards right, get a great seeding, as long as they can avoid Dallas or Philly, well, eventually they'll probably collide. But if they can avoid them somewhat early, that's better for them. Moving on up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders against the New Orleans Saints. Travis, who you taking?
I'm going to take the Raiders here. Josh Jacobs has been stellar last week. He had 3 touchdown performance against Texans. I know it's the Texans, but Josh Jacobs has been on fire so far this year. Saints dealing with some big injuries. They are having troubles with QBs, Dalton and Winston being constantly injured. So as Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I will agree with you on that, Travis. I'm going with the Raiders this week. They still got Josh Jacobs, who he's right, has been playing phenomenally this year. And they still got Adams, who hasn't dropped a single pass that's been thrown his way. So I think they got a better offense, and I think that's what's really going to do it in for New Orleans.
I'll take the Raiders. The Raiders are playing a little more consistent. Thing is, New Orleans, they got Lattimore coming back, so he'll probably line up with the Devontae Parker. But the thing is if the Raiders can get Renfro more involved, if there's a way that guy can come back, because last year Renfro was having great games, well, except Kansas City, but I just feel like all that attention's going to Devontae Adams, and the thing is they need to find a way to kind of give it back to the Raiders. See, I'm not even making sense. Let me scratch that, you guys. What I'm trying to say is Derek Carr needs to literally, let's open up the playbook more. Waller hasn't done as much either.
He's been injured a lot.
Too. Yeah. So that's no good. No bueno. But also, we just need Winfrey to step up as well and run the ball. If that was working for you guys the first time around, then run the ball. All right, next up, we have the New England Patriots against the New York Jets. So this is a AFC showdown. Who are you taking, Tristan?
I am going to stick with the Jets. I like the Jets, how they've been playing. Unfortunately, they lost Breece Hall, which is a big letdown. He looked like he was going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. But despite that, they picked up James Robinson, and Michael Carter, still a phenomenal running back. They still got great weapons offensively, amazing weapons defensively. They're a young team. And the way that the New England performed last week, I didn't like it. It was a letdown, and Ramondre Stevenson's great, but you can't rely on Ramondre Stevenson to do everything for you guys. I've got the Jets. I think overall they got it this week.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Jets. They got James Robinson for a 6th rounder. That's a steal. Jets, they've been looking amazing still to this day. But the Patriots, that was a bad game that they had last week. Lost 33-14 against the Bears. Mac Jones should be starting this week, but with Belichick, I don't know who's going to be the quarterback by next week.
Return of the Mac. Well, that was a stomping. The Bears just mauled the Patriots. That threw me off. I was like, is this real? Is this going? No, it's my Madden game. It's gotta be. I was like, oh no, it's real. Belichick's turning red. He's about to have a heart attack out on the floor. This just made Justin Fields look good out there. And so now the Jets, on the other hand, well, they've got their little series of drama. I mean, you already lost your 2 players. They lost their tackle. I was telling Tristan, they lost their tackle. You got Moore coming back, disgruntled. So maybe he might get some plays this time. We'll see what happens. He might get something going on. But this is the time where New England, they get angry. And that's dangerous. And the thing is, the Jets has not had a lot of success against New England. And I mean, I can remember a handful of games where the Jets beaten New England, but I feel in this one, New England's got to come back, and they're going to have to restructure their game. Because don't forget, the Jets has got good defense. I mean, they were just manhandling Denver last week offensively. So, and I'm not going to compare New England the offense to Denver's offense, because there's just New England's much better. But defensively, now they're going to see a team that's a little bit better. It's better than the Bears. Just the Bears capitalized a lot on key errors on Zappi and on Jones. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll still take New England still, just because I just think they got the Jets' number. But if the Jets win, okay, so be it. All right, we got the Governor's Cup here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Philadelphia Eagles. Tristan, who you taking?
Philly. I'm going to pick Philly. They're playing phenomenally. They're coming off a bye, so everybody's well rested. They're just a phenomenal team. I feel like they can come back hot against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Philly. They're still undefeated, and they will be undefeated after this weekend. Kenny Pickett, bad rookie mistake by forcing the ball at the end of the game against Miami. Final drive. I mean, you just can't make those mistakes, especially going into Philly. But I still have Philly winning this one.
I'll take Philly. Philly's got the hot hand right now. Now, the run game, like I said, we mentioned before, Miles Sanders, if you let him up, he's gonna make you pay. And then also, are they still plagued with a little bit of injuries as well, the Eagles? Or they're pretty, because now they got the new defensive end.
I think they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I don't know about any injuries from them.
Okay, well, I'll take Philly. Next up, we have an AFC South showdown. We have the Tennessee Titans against the Houston Texans. Travis, who you taking?
I'm going to take Tennessee. Last week, Derrick Henry had a phenomenal run game against the Colts. I'm going to see him do that again this week. Titans took the division over the Colts last week. They're going to continue taking it away, for taking the lead on that one in the division. Houston, they just haven't been playing good at all this year, just like usual. So I'm going Titans.
I'm going Titans as well. Houston's, they're not it. They're the bottom of the AFC. I don't see Tennessee losing to them with how hot they've been playing with Derrick Henry coming up. And yeah, it's definitely Tennessee this week.
Tennessee's defense has stepped up a lot. And right now, this is going to be I'm not going to say a clinic. I'm not going to use that word, but this is going to give them opportunity to see how they score against, because the next week they have a date with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be different. That's where the statement game is going to be. Now, for this game here, I have Derrick Henry. He's probably going to have 1 or 2 touchdowns. I'll give him 2 touchdowns, but I'm going to call it out. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to shake it up, and you're going to see more throws in this game. So I'll take Tennessee. Next up, we have the Commanders going to visit the Indianapolis Colts. Who are you taking, Tristan?
This is a tough one for me. Commanders had a win against Green Bay, which was really nice, but in my opinion, Green Bay just hasn't been playing well this year. So I don't know if that's really something to be excited about. And Sam Ellinger's starting for the Colts, so that's a different QB. He needs to get that experience in. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take the Colts this week. I just don't trust Washington, despite those wins they've managed to clinch this year. I still don't trust Washington. I still don't trust the cornerback situation. Heineke didn't play bad, but I just think the Colts offensively, they have much better weapons, and they just need to get the mojo going, and hopefully Sam Ellinger will provide that for them.
I'm going to go with Washington on this one. Matt Ryan got benched. Sam Ellinger, first start in the NFL. Taylor Heineke got the W against the Packers. Played well after he threw the pick six. He just flipped a switch and was like, you know what, we're going to win this game. But yeah, I'm going Washington.
For some reason, I picked Washington and they won. So why stop? Why stop? Let's keep it going. I'll take the Commanders as well. All right, moving on over to the NFC West showdown. We have the San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to go with the LA team, the Rams. Rams just got off their bye week. Should be a little bit refreshed. San Fran lost to Kansas City. I mean, that was a tough game for them. McCaffrey didn't play too much last week, but I feel like he'll have a more amount of reps going this week, but I'm still going to go with the Rams.
I am going to go with San Francisco this week. They lost to the best team in the league, actually, so I don't know why everybody...
Second best team.
No,
in the league.
the best team in the league. I don't care what anybody
Do I have a
says.
censor button here somewhere?
But, McCaffrey, I was actually surprised with how much they put McCaffrey in for literally only being there for like 2 days, learning the playbook in 2 days. They put him in a lot, in my opinion. And this week, I feel like they're going to put him in even more, and he's going to make amazing plays because he made great plays against us, and he's great. I think that's really good for him and the Niners. He's out of Carolina, and he has a good offensive line and a good team. And I feel like that's going to show this week. They're going to give him the ball more, and that's all they need, man. I just like San Francisco this week because their defense is going to – I think their defense will be able to hold Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. If they can do that, they're fine, and I think that's what they'll do.
Matthew Stafford sucks. I gotta say it, and I don't usually say that, but dude, he is sucking. And it's not 100% his fault. The line is doing him dirty. Aaron Darnold's been quiet, and it's just a disarray of a mess. And you see, we were all laughing. I still remember a couple episodes ago, we were like, "Oh, Seattle, they're not going to do much."
Yeah.
And guess who had the last laugh?
Exactly.
Who was in first place there? Seattle.
Yeah,
And,
Seattle,
yeah.
Travis. How about
Hey.
Yeah, and so the thing is looking at this game here. Man, congrats to Christian McCaffrey coming back home. He played at Stanford. Ed played in San Francisco, won a Super Bowl there. And the thing is that oh yeah, for all the youngins, yes, Christian McCaffrey's dad is Ed McCaffrey. He was a wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. Then went to Denver and won 2 more Super Bowls. So yeah, just throwing it out there. All right, back to the segment here. So indeed, Garoppolo against the Chiefs last week, he beat himself. They did okay against Kansas City. But again, Kansas City, that's one thing I do admire about you guys. Once they catch on what you're doing, they do great in making adjustments. Yes, I'll hand it to you on that. And that's what I watched in that game. Once, because Christian McCaffrey, you could tell it's kind of like free ball. Like, okay, we'll give you the ball, you go run. Then who was their other running back for the 49ers?
Jeff Wilson.
He knows the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched how he was running, he knew what holes to hit and how it was going. This is kind of like coached and uncoached. But now that Christian's going to have more time to look at the playbook, this is going to be a game for them. So I'll take San Francisco. All right, next up, we have the Green Bay Packers against the Buffalo Bills. All right, Travis, this is going to be an interesting game. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Bills. They've shown up all year long. Josh Allen's having an MVP season. Yeah, and I feel like they're going to move the chains on to go 6-1 and take a bigger lead in the AFC East, but I'm going Bills.
I'm going Bills. You see how Green Bay's been playing against teams that aren't even at the top of the division, let alone like the league. Green Bay has been playing too hot, and the Bills have. They're coming off a bye week, so they're rested. They've had 2 weeks to study Green Bay, so they're going to come out here, and I feel like it's not going to be a close game.
I think, according to Kurt Warner in one of his comments, and I quote, he said they look exhausted. And I think Aaron Rodgers, the hair look is killing him. It's killing him. I think he's in this. Ever since Devontae Adams left, I think a piece of Devontae Adams took away from Aaron Rodgers. And now he's kind of lonely. He's all by himself. We would play the song, but I just don't know if we get copyrighted for it. But I can hear the song right now, him playing. But hey, who knows? I might throw it in there. But here's the deal. Their defense stinks. they're. I mean, Lazard is he's like a light switch. He's on some days and off. Aaron, I mean, what has he got? What has he got? Now you're going to go against Buffalo. Buffalo is going to stomp on you guys. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Von Miller is going to come after Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is just no fun. This is not a good deal. And so I'm just going to go and take the Bills as well. And I think they are the best team in the AFC.
They're close.
No,
they are.
They are. So, yeah. What was that game last week? I can't remember.
They're the one team that gives us room for our money. It's
Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
the
so
playoffs are what matter, and we beat them in the playoffs, however many years in a row.
this year, I'm calling it Buffalo. It's got a home field advantage. It's going through Buffalo. We're going back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. All right. Next up, we have also the battle for Ohio. We have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns, the dog pound. I believe this is the Monday night game. Who are you taking, Travis?
I'm taking Cincinnati. Cleveland, they have lost too many close games. Chargers, and then last week the Ravens by 3. Both games. Cincinnati, they're on fire. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. I mean, he's been fantastic throwing it to his wide receivers, Joe Burrow. I feel like he's going to continue that this week and have another big passing week. So I'm going to go Cincinnati.
I agree. Cincinnati is going to win this game, and that's because, Cleveland doesn't know how to finish out games, and the silly mistakes is what cost them that stuff, but you can't do that against a team like Cincy. Joe Burrow's their quarterback. You can't do that against him, so it's going to be Cincinnati this week.
This is tough. When someone asks me who has a better chance in closing, the Cleveland Browns or a car salesman, I'm going to take the car salesman because I just feel he's going to finish out. He's going to write the contract, talk him into it, and they're going to close the deal. Cleveland can't finish the games. And the thing is like they're offensively, the two-headed monsters with Chubb and Kareem Hunt, it's been kind of quiet. Garrett, and then also Jadeveon Clowney, they've been quiet. There's not a lot that's going on in Cleveland. And the thing is that they're going to have to get it together, or Stefanski's going to have to again, because he's on a short leash over there. That they were happy, they were like, okay, hey, we went to the playoffs, 2 years ago, we missed it by a little bit, but we haven't done anything, and you guys barely lost to Baltimore. You should have beaten Baltimore. Baltimore is struggling. If you beat Cincinnati in this game, you're still not the cream of the crop, but it'd be like, okay, you guys, that was a good game. So this is going to be my statement game for this week, because the simple fact is that Cleveland cannot lose. If they lose this game, they're just going to be in disarray. So that's where we're at. All right, the game of the week is brought to you by Ernie Rellis at State Farm. We have the New York Giants against the Seattle Seahawks. Who are you taking, Tristan?
This is tough. Both teams came out, in my opinion, when you look at those teams starting the season, you're like, wow, bottom of the league, bottom of the division. Now they're both in the top of their divisions, they're doing great. A lot better than we would have thought. So I'm going to go with the Giants simply because I think they got a better defense, which is going to hurt Geno Smith. But also because Daniel Jones, I think we've all been giving praise to Saquon Barkley, which, we should. He's been playing phenomenal. But Daniel Jones, he's also been doing a good job managing the clock. He's been doing a good job passing and running the ball. He's been doing good as well. He's another reason why the Giants have been winning. And I think they're going to keep it going this week. And I think they're going to secure that dub. And I think it's going to be a 3-point game. It's going to be close. But I got my money on the Giants.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be a very close game. I feel like it's going to come down to either final drive or final moment, who's going to make the stop. But I'm going to go with the Giants. Kenneth Walker, he's been playing amazing this year. Possibly offensive rookie of the year this year, which is amazing. Giants are still on fire. Daniel Jones, like you said, Tristan, needs more respect for what he's been doing up in New York. But yeah, I'm gonna go Giants here.
Seattle proved last week that their run game is back. Tyler Lockett showed up a little bit late. the thing is, Geno Smith is turning that offense around.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, this is a great opportunity to make their statement against the Giants. They're at home in Seattle, so it's going to get rowdy there. And the thing is that the Giants, you can't count them out. They're the quiet team in the NFC East. And the thing is that while Big Brother Philly's taking care of business, and then the redheaded stepchild of Dallas is in, but they're technically Dallas is in third place. Am I right? Because the Giants have the better schedule. But no, they're in second because Dallas has the head-to-head over the Giants.
Giants are a game ahead of them. Giants are 6-1. Cowboys are 5-2.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm gonna just toss it up there. I'm gonna see if this pays out for me. But I'm gonna take Seattle.
Okay.
I'll take Seattle, and I think the game factor is they're gonna establish the run game. Because here's the thing, the Giants have good secondaries, so they're gonna make sure that DK Metcalf doesn't get much going, and they're gonna try to bump him up on the line, and also DK
may be out.
Yeah, he's out for a couple weeks. He
He
hurt his knee.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So it's just Mr. Lockett.
So
Mr. Lockett's going to get all the looks.
He's going to get all the looks.
Or
huh?
Goodwin, actually.
Yeah,
he
Goodwin
had those
played
2
amazing.
touchdowns last week.
Okay.
He did
Well, I'll
really
still
good.
take Seattle. Oh, what? I got nothing to lose. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I don't blame you. This is going to be a close game.
It'll be a good game. Hopefully they don't wear the green uniform. That's going to make my eyes hurt. So, okay. Well, that concludes the Week 8 game picks here. So let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Well, I don't know about you folks, but here at Sportsfellas, things can get, well, a nice right funk going on sometimes. And in that time of need, we turn to our friend Kimberly Sampson, our own personal Cincy independent consultant. She is our favorite star consultant, so for your scent needs, get a hold of Kimberly at heavenlyscentswithkim@gmail.com or visit her website, heavenlyscentswithkim.cincy.us. You can also call her at 316-282-7363. That's Kimberly Sampson at Cincy, our favorite independent consultant.
All right, so we are now into the DDK fantasy football lineup. Travis, who should we put in the fantasy football lineup?
Who you should put is Kenneth Walker. I mean, the last 3 weeks he's been phenomenal. He's had 17, 23, and 35 in the last 3 weeks. He's a guy that you must need in your fantasy lineup.
I'm going to go out there. Michael Carter from the Jets, running back. Now that Breece Hall's out for the season, Michael Carter is going to take that starting role. He played great last year, and I expect him to continue to play great this year. Even though James Robinson's there, he still has to warm up to the playbook, sort of like Christian McCaffrey. I don't think they're going to use him much this game. So definitely this week you want to start Michael Carter.
If you have Cool Joe, this is it. I mean, the guy is distributing the ball to everybody. That's just awesome. And I'm going to reiterate what Travis said. I mean, Boyd's got his touches. Chase has got his touch. Higgins got it. And Mixon's got it as well. And that goes to show that Burrow's very aware of his surroundings. And this is a team, again, they started slow. We never saw them last year get to that far. And then to go into Kansas City and beat them, that goes to show that anything's possible. So if you have Joe Burrow, you're on the right path here. And especially going against the Cleveland Brown, we're going to see a lot of fantasy points going there. All right, let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Since 1990, Wichita's own Superstar Sports has everything for the fans' needs, whereas for NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, or either college. So please check them out at either the Town West Mall in Wichita, Kansas, or the Town East Mall, Wichita, Kansas, whereas Superstar Sports, where every fan is welcome.
It's that segment of Driz and Los Players of the Week. It's brought to you by the Arsenal Supplement Store. All right, Dristan, who do you nominate for the Players of the Week?
Offensively, my boy Pat Mahomes played a great second half against San Francisco. We put up 40-plus points on this number 2 defense. He played phenomenal. He was dotting up that defense. And I think to show that he did that against such a great defense without Hill, which everybody was getting on us about. Now he's clicking with Juju and MVS with all these receivers, and now the ball's starting to roll, and I'm loving it. And he played great, 400-something passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. He played phenomenal, so that's my offensive player of the week. Defensive player of the week, I'm going to go with Sauce Gardner. He was my defensive player of the week last week, and this week he actually won the AFC defensive player of the week because he played great, and he's still playing at such a high level as a rookie, and I love it.
Yeah, offense, I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. 3 rushing touchdowns, I believe over 120 rushing yards also, and a couple of catches. Defense, I do have Sauce Gardner. He had 10 tackles, a couple of pass breakups, played phenomenal last week.
It's unanimous, Sauce Gardner as well. Yeah. I'm taking him. He was fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
See, that's where you want players like that. That's going to be disruptive and cause the offense to tremble. But I'm going to not necessarily piggyback over you, Driston, but I'm going to take Hardman. He had 3 touchdowns. I was thinking Juju was going to get all the catches, but no, my boy, he showed up, and I benched him. But I'm like, I think I got that guy in my lineup, and I looked. I go, I have him in fantasy, but he was benched.
Yep, first receiver in the NFL history to get 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown in the same game.
So congrats to you. So yes, I'm picking a Chiefs player, you guys. I know. Don't
Love
freak
to
out.
hear it. You'll never hear me picking a Broncos player. I'll tell you
Okay,
that.
shut up, Tristan. That's enough. This guy, you know, I have him on the show. I thought maybe one year he'd be cool, collected. No, he wants to. Just wait. That day's gonna happen. I can't wait. My time will come one day. All right, let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Razor Cut Information would like to thank you, Ernie Reles, at State Farm, located at 11330 East Central, Wichita, Kansas. Please visit Ernie to talk about your home, auto, life insurance needs. As they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Thank you, Ernie.
You guys, it's our favorite segment. It's Who's Hot and Who's Not. Tristan's all Lord. All right. Who's Hot and Who's Not is brought to you by She Cut Barbers. Contact Keisha for your fresh, clean cut lineup in the signature tea tree hair and scalp treatment. Contact Keisha for your appointment. Approved by Sportsfellas. All right. Tristan, I'm going to start it off with you. Tell me, who's hot?
I'm going with the Giants. They played phenomenal. They beat Green Bay, which was very nice to see. And, you know, as I said, with Daniel Jones, Saquon, they're doing great offensively. Their defense has stepped up and has really been producing for them. And, you know, they got some critical wins against some really good teams in the NFC. So I'm going with Giants.
For the hot team, for me, I'm going with the Vikings. This might be a sleeper pick. They're 5-1. I don't really think much people would have expected them to go 5-1. But if they win this week, they'll be 6-1, a couple games ahead from everyone in the division. So I'm going Vikings.
This is a toss-up for me. I had to analyze everyone there. I mean, Giants have been on the hot streak here, but on this one here, and I gotta do this. And I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but it's critical. Might as well just say it. I'm just gonna hand it right now to the Kansas City Chiefs. What Tristan said, I know. I'm shocked too. I'm like, my heart's starting to kind of slow beat here. Here's the deal. Look what they did to the 49ers. And Tristan, what he said was right on the money. They made the adjustments. Christian McCaffrey was still trying to get his feet wet there. Garoppolo making the same mistakes. It's like Andy Reid and Spagnuolo knew already. Okay, Garoppolo's going to be doing this. Threw an easy interception. He couldn't face the pass rush. And the thing is that, I mean, that was a cool touchdown like George Kittle had. And, of course, there was great plays that San Francisco had. But the thing is if you're going to go toe-to-toe with Kansas City, Mahomes and gang is going to beat you out in a shootout if you make those key mistakes. So and right now, Kansas City is where they need to be. They're on a bye week. That's great. They're going to be back home. They're going to host the Tennessee Titans in their next game. And so this is the time now where they need to stay afloat because right now, Buffalo, they're on a hot streak right now. Cincinnati's back. So this is not the time for the Chiefs to slow down because, like I said, they still got another date with the Raiders. I mean, I don't know how about your Chargers, Travis. I mean, with their injuries, I don't know what's going to happen, and we'll just leave Denver alone. All right. Who's not? I'm going to start this with you, Travis.
I'm going to say Texans. They're one of 2 teams that's 1-5. Detroit, I feel like they should be better than 1-5. Texans, yeah, I'm going to go with them. They are not doing anything at all this year.
This is difficult for me. I don't know if I should pick the Buccaneers or if I should pick Green Bay, because I picked Green Bay last week, so I'll switch it up. I'll pick Buccaneers. This is crazy because two elite, or used to be elite quarterbacks, in Tom Brady and Rodgers, they're both struggling. But the Bucs, they didn't look good. They've lost 2 games in a row against teams that aren't really phenomenal, that aren't even the top of their divisions. So if the Bucs keep playing like this, they may not even take their division, and they have not looked good, especially Brady. He needs to pick it up. They need to get things going.
We got a lot of teams that are not doing great. And I'm not going to pick my team because that's just going to make me more depressed. And after I did some reviewing here, I have to pick this team, and that is the Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams. We had them going to take care of business. We were watching everyone else kind of struggle, and now they're like at the bottom. And San Francisco has found a way to regroup. So Christian McCaffrey was able to say, hey, you know what? We'll go to San Francisco. If I'm not mistaken, the Rams had first dibs on them, but something happened in the Christian McCaffrey camp. If I'm not mistaken, Carolina, then they pulled out. And then when San Francisco got in, they made more of an appealing trade offer. And then also, Matthew Stafford has been putting up terrible numbers. Cooper Kupp was doing great. Now he's been kind of a little bit quiet. I think. I still think he's unguardable.
Oh yeah,
he's still. But it's gonna be fun watching the Rams and Denver. I want to see how Patrick Surtain does against them. That's gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna watch, because other than that, everything else is gonna suck. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Los Angeles Rams. So that's where I'm at. So before we finish up the conclusion, I forgot we need to go back into the players. So we need to come to a unanimous decision. Defensively, we got our player. Now, offensively, we need to come in an agreement.
I'll switch to McCole Hardman. Easy.
I guess Mecole. I guess.
Oh yeah,
got
my
to
boy
man.
McCole.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
okay. Well,
Once in a
congratulations, congratulations. You have been chosen to be Driz and Los Players of the Week. So you guys don't forget, we're going to have our Sportsfellas show this week. So we're going to break down some of the things that are going on around the league, and also touch up a little bit of the World Series. We're also going to talk a little bit about the World Cup coming up pretty soon, and also a little bit of college. Other than that, any shout outs before we go?
Shout out to you, man. I always appreciate coming on the show talking football. It's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to you and Eric for having us. I mean, this is awesome.
I want to thank all the friends, family, the people that tune into our show. It's just amazing. I appreciate you guys. It's because of you guys we're able to get together and just talk football. And like I said, we're just trying to broaden our horizons, and we're just going to keep going. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you on the next episode. We're out.